Alright, so it's day 4, 5, 6 or something or other, working on clearing this brush line. It's taken forever because of the weather here lately. It's been, I don't know, upper 80s, lower 90s, but about 68 to 75% humidity. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we just got some rain last night, so it's not terrible today. Humidity's still probably around 30 or 40, but it's tolerable. Haven't been real good about keeping up to videos on this thing. I've actually got some of this already cleared out of the big stuff anyway. I still have to go in and rake all the underbrush up, the small stuff. I've already carried out the big stuff. I got a little mountain right there that I got to burn at some point. But I still got to rake out the stuff and hopefully go back and spray all of the bigger bushes, all the invasive bush honeysuckle and Russian olive. But anyway, I got this little patch here to do on this end. I still got quite a bit by the road, but that's not as important as getting this cleared out right now. So, get to it, I guess. Had to get some gloves on. Some of that stuff's got stickers in it. And with all the noise, the neighbor's cows think it's time to eat something. They don't want none of this. So, got that dead tree, some of the branches out anyway. This one here you see hanging down is that same one that goes up all crooked there. Well, if you're from the Midwest, you probably heard of them. Otherwise, that is a hedge tree, Osage orange. They're not much good for anything except for fence posts. If you want a self-made bow, like for a bow and arrow, make you a long bow or something. Or if you'd like to melt your wood stove. I don't know of anything else that has a higher BTUs in it. You load your stove up with that and it's going to get hot, buddy. Probably start a chimney fire at the least. Anyway, they have hedge apples. Those round balls, yeah, they're a little bit everywhere. Anyway, they're about the size of a softball. Pretty good size. I don't know of any use for them. I've seen them make some, I don't know, some essential oil type stuff. Palmifera or whatever. If you see that stuff, that comes from hedge apples. Old wives' tale that you used to be able to take them and put them around your house, like on the baseboards or in closets, stuff like that. Supposedly they're going to keep away crickets, mice, spiders. I've never seen that to be the case, or at least not 100%, and I haven't read anything online that confirms it. But I'm no botanist, whatever the kind of person that's called that studies hedge apples. But anyway, I've got no use for them. You probably saw me pluck a few of them off and throw them down. Like I said, I don't have any use for them, but my wife does, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are good for stuff. Chain came off. As you might have guessed, a grapple would work a heck of a lot better, but it's just not in the cards right now. But the forks do pretty good. I could have picked up those last couple pieces by hand and thrown them over. I didn't need the tractor, obviously, but you know, that's the principle of the thing. You gotta establish dominance early, or this brush will just walk all over you. Well, I don't know if you can hear it on camera. Probably not. But I think that's about all for tonight, because we are getting ready to have a thunderstorm. Been calling for it. It's actually late. It looks a lot darker in person than it does on camera. But made some more progress. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one here. It's not hurting anything, but it's definitely not growing right. It'll eventually outgrow itself and fall to the ground. I don't know what kind of tree it is, to be honest with you. I only know a few of them, and that one is not one of them. Let's see what we got. Well, a lot of oaks and hickories, walnuts, stuff like that. The hedge, as long as it's growing okay, I'll leave it alone. But if it starts growing real wild and funky and choking other trees out, then I'll take it down. It'd be nice to get all this brush out of here. Can't remember if I brought it up already or not. But if not, I'm sure some of you are wondering why I leave all these little stumps sticking out everywhere of the bigger ones. I'm going to come back and cut them all down. But I've found out the hard way that if you cut them all the way down and that's it, they're just going to grow back. And it doesn't take long. It'll be that one right there. Give it a year's time, they'll have new growth at least that tall. So I'm leaving them sticking up for now so I can see them. And then when I get ready to spray, I'll come back and cut it down to the ground and then spray the roots. So hopefully they don't come back again. But we're getting closer. The whole eating an elephant thing is one bite at a time. Some other trees in here that I could live without, but like, well, I'll take this one for example. This big old sucker back here. Now, I don't remember the difference between a honey locust and a black locust, but whichever one this is, they've got ginormous thorns on it. And I mean, just all over the tree. It burns hot for firewood, but I've got no use for a tree with thorns on it. But being the size of it is, it's been here a long time. I reckon it deserves to stay around a while longer. I might trim off some of the thorns on the lower stuff to make sure I don't get myself tangled up in it. But personally, I prefer oaks, especially for the area that I'm in. They provide the most support to the local wildlife. You know, besides birds, bugs, you know, whatever, acorns, shade, excellent firewood when the time comes. But I don't know, that's just me. I like the hardwoods. Maples are fine for the yard and stuff, as long as they're not too close to the house. They provide good shade, they grow quick. But yeah, want to get this tree line all cleared out. Not only because it looks nice and it'll help the trees that I want to keep grow stronger and healthier, but also, you know, my deer cabin over there, I'll be able to see them as they're intermingling through here. Otherwise, they can just slip through undetected. So I think it's going to look nice. It's a heck of a lot of work, but we're getting there. These clouds never really show up right on camera, but they are dark. A little bit of thunder. No lightning yet, so at least that's good. Tools of the trade. That little Kubota, that's a 3901. I got that maybe 2.5 years ago. That sucker earns its keep, I'll tell you that. 2.5 years ago-ish, I've got a little over 400 hours on it now. I'd say 80% of that is mowing. The other 20%, material moving around and, you know, with the forks in the bucket. Or tilling, you know, I got some stuff over there. Tiller, box blade, rear blade. The rear blade actually doesn't get used very much. Even if you're in an area where it snows, you buy a new one, don't get a rear blade. Pick one up used. They are all over the place. But I do wish I would have got that grapple. I'll have one eventually, but for now the forks work okay. It's weird, after you get a tractor, you find all sorts of stuff you don't want to carry anymore. Use the heck out of this thing. Load it up with tools, or, you know, I was working around here, hauling firewood, hauling brush, cruising around the property. Me and the wife get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But anyway, made quite a dent today. The humidity is definitely starting to kick up too. I'm sweating like a you-know-what in church that doesn't go to church a lot, so there you go. So, good enough for now, folks. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back out here and maybe finish this little piece right here. I was right. I didn't even make it 100 yards before it come up with a gully washer. Well, that's good. Give the pond a little bit of a filling back up. Give the plants and everything else a drink. I'm sure they needed it. So, maybe tomorrow.